Good afternoon. Yeah, I'm really Jerusalem and then I came to inquire much more about road domestic safety because I've heard about you that you are good in grain operating and more or less leading heavy duty in sites and as a safety personnel as well. I want to hear you treat below this domestic safety.
Thank you so much, my audience and people, everybody, with Nigerians, and I greet you in Nigeria most. You are growing into safety for some long time now, construction and building works. So welcome you to our office today to tell you a little about the question you've been asking. That what makes someone a professional.
Yes.
The other day you came and asked me, what is this called in a professional language?
Yes.
I told you this is hard hat, but in a layman understanding and language they call it helmet.
Yes.
So that's the difference of someone who is trained as a safety officer and someone who is not trained as safety officer.
Okay.
And our professional terms used that prove you, that makes you to be proved as a safety personnel.
And sorry, I think it must be worn on the site while working. It's much necessary, right?
Definitely, and right now I can still put it on my head.
Okay.
Can see how my look is. If I want to bring it down, I will bring it down. So now about safety, that word S-A-F-T-Y, it has a very good impact in general living, generality of living. Because no matter how expert you are in anything you're doing, whether you are driving a truck, whether you're flying a plane, whether you are into an oil well, doing some extracting the mineral resources, you require an external body that looks like a referee or a coach who will be there. In other words, you can call it a safety officer who will be there to help you, tell you what to do and how to do and most of the occasions and timing, and tell you about the safety measures you need to take. For instance, someone who is piloting an aircraft, the safety measures he takes is different from someone who is piloting a boat in the water.
Yes.
Then the safety measures of someone who is in the domestic environment, maybe cooking in the home and office, the safety methods he applies is different from someone who is operating a caterpillar.
Okay.
So now analysis.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. So now in safety analysis, as we continue today, now we come down to the domestic safety.
Okay.
You see, like when a white man said that wisdom is part of life, it's simply telling you safety in all you do. You might just part in some certain thing, but you don't maintain safety consciousness. You will end up being crashed because there is no company owner that will love to have all the caterpillar, a lot of people, and you'll be having a loss of human beings and properties in his company. It will tarnish the image of the company, tarnish the image of the owner and the management. So that is why in some companies in Nigeria or in West Africa or in the world, they value safety more than any other department. Not because these safety personnel went to Harvard University or Oxford University, but these people have been taught to keep their consciousness about safety and deter the hazardness.
Very good.
Because in every job there are some hazards, some risks.
Sure.
Then they try to identify those risks and apply some safety rules
Measures.
that will help the safety, that will help the risk to be reduced at least to 5%, not to 0 point, and avoid near miss. Because some near miss can cause some tension in the body that can cause some slight injuries. So now coming to the domestic safety, we are now referring on the house, on how we, our families, things like cooking, things like the way we keep water on the ground, not mopping them, things like being on the bed, cooking, eventually sleep might may carry you because we are human beings, no matter how strong you are.
Yes.
So some of all these situations careless situations. There is a principles you can apply to make sure you maintain safety.
Yes.
That is why there is a topic we call use, that is unsafe condition.
Condition, yeah.
Then there is another
safe condition.
As
Safe and unsafe condition.
Yes. Thank you. Attitude that the safety officer is supposed to possess,
Yes.
or someone who has interest for safety, the potentials.
Yes.
So coming to that, you will discover that safety is a very complex study or subject.
Yes.
Now the attitudes are number one. Safety is not about someone who is too mathematical. It requires someone who is fluent oratory. Because there is a part of safety we learned that told us that safety is seeing and saying. So any human being
so that means we see and we say to make a safer conditions.
Thank you, Engineer Jahod, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, we see and say, we communicate.
Good one.
And there should be two manners we use to communicate to our fellow colleagues, our fellow workers.
Yes.
At times you call their attention. This is how you're supposed to do this, this is how you're supposed to do this to maintain your safety.
Yes.
Then sometimes you use a little harshness on them to make sure they will regain the consciousness of being safety. Because the reason is not just that you want to, there is much you find in their life, but rather to help yourself and help them. To remind yourself and remind them. Because they are in pressure doing the work. While you are like a coach watching them. So the attitude, the potentials in you will help to cover up what is not in them at that moment. Like now, when somebody is playing a football, the coach or the coach can observe, okay, come, let's take this person and bring another person. Are you seeing it? It's trying to. It's like safety is trying to. But you're weighing the strength of the person, balancing it. So you know as a safety officer, when you come into environment, whether in your home, whether in the company, whether someone like now, this time someone is putting generator the other day and is dropping fuel inside there while the generator is steaming. Can you see that the one is being learned? The hazard is much. So you as a safety officer, you have to call the attention and speak your word because it's seeing and saying. Seeing and saying. Seeing and saying.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you today. And I know in second phase of the safety aspect, you will tell us more about it. Our audience, thank you so much for the Mr. Oliver Crane, the HSE officer, which is more or less a crane operator.